Hello my dudes and welcome back to All the Mods 9 to the Sky. It's going really well here. Last episode we built a crazy huge nuclear reactor and the capabilities of this beast are insane. It can generate an insane amount of steam that we use for power in the next stage. Now I'm down here in the basement, we've got our fuel set up, rocking over here. Everything's going tickety-boo. What we need to make sure we do now is put this steam somewhere that's going to generate us loads of power. So I'm filling up my jetpack, that's kind of why I'm down here. But yeah, we're going to build some amazing Mekanism turbines this episode. Turbines are really complicated and actually they're more complicated than the nuclear reactors. But bear with me and I'm going to try and guide you through some of the pitfalls and processes of building cool Mekanism turbines that work really well. Let's jump in. Alright, is my jetpack done? Yes it is. Fantastic. So let's get upstairs. Now you're going to see in my backpack, I've gone through my computer, added all of the important Mekanism crafts over here for some of the items you need to build a turbine, like turbine blades, rotors, all of this stuff. And I've basically got all that in my backpack, loads of it, because I want to make sure I've just got absolutely enough to do what I want to do. There's nothing worse than having to go back to the crafting grid and make more stuff because you didn't make enough to begin with. This is a healthy amount, shouldn't need any more than this. Cool, okay, so I've got all the materials. I've got some pipes and cables, all of my gadgets and gubbins, everything's looking good. Now originally, we were going to put one big turbine in this room above the nuclear reactor. That makes a lot of sense, right? Let me just turn the reactor off because, yeah, don't need any more of that steam. That bad boy is full to the brim. But the problem with turbines is they don't work in the same way as nuclear reactors. You don't just build one big turbine as big as you can get, because a turbine can only have one rotor blade that goes straight through the middle of it. So you could build one big turbine, but it would have to be like an even number of depth and width. So it'd have to be like 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, 10x10, and you'd only have one rotor in the middle. And that's one way of doing things, but we're going to opt for another way of doing things. We're going to have multiple big turbines. Yeah, because we want to make sure this nuclear reactor is way bigger than most. We want to make sure that whatever turbine we build can handle all of the steam that we're outputting. Because weirdly, with turbines, there's kind of like a sweet spot. You don't want too much steam going in, but you don't want not enough going in either. If we have multiple turbines, we can kind of scale down what we're doing by turning off some turbines if we're not getting enough steam, and turning on turbines if there's too much. Kind of gives us a lot of flexibility. Anyway, that's all really technical. We're going to retrofit the top room, into our turbine room. Why? Well, because it's got a nice high roof, we can chisel into this glass, give ourselves even more room. But let's get going. Let's design this turbine. Now, if we go into the quest log, we've had a bit of an issue. I'm kind of stalled on this quest over here because I built a chemical oxidizer and I did look at uranium oxide in a machine, but it just won't give me this quest and I can't work out why. We've done kind of all the stages before, not quite sure why it doesn't work. So we're not going to worry about the quests too much. They are helpful. These quests will show you what a basic industrial turbine will look like, 5x5x5, and give you basically a guide on how to get a sweet starter turbine. Now, like I said before, a turbine has to be like an even number, width and depth, so 4x4, 5x5. I think 5x5 is the minimum of what it can be. So we're going to get the casing from my backpack, should have loads of this, just get a few, and map out some turbines. So basically we want to make sure we get at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could have a 6x6 turbine. The thing is, right though, because there's one rotor inside these turbines, you kind of want to make sure it's an odd number that you go for, like 5x5 or 7x7, because 6x6 actually gives you like an even space in the middle, and so placing the rotor in there is going to look a little bit messy. So yeah, anyway, what are we doing? We want to make sure these are as big as they can be. What I think we might end up doing is building multiple 5x5 turbines, so let's give that a go. This is a turbine, and this will be a turbine, and of course, this will be a turbine. Yeah, now that makes sense. These are 1, 2, 3, 4 really big turbines. So what we don't have in like width and depth, because this is 5 by 5, we can make up for in height. We can make these turbines really, really, really tall. And I think that's actually going to look really, really cool. Now this does, of course, mean we've got to chisel away loads of glass. Luckily enough, jetpack disabled. That's where our atomic disassembler shines. So let's smash some glass. So I'm going to put down the frames for these turbines and then come back to you guys. And there we go. Doesn't that look intimidating? 4 colossal turbines are going to go in here. Now I hope this works actually. The problem is when you get like kind of above a certain height, the turbine blades get really wide. So I think we might have a problem there. I think we're supposed to have wider turbines, but we'll see. We'll see how this works. So we're going to use the first turbine over here to show you guys how you build a turbine. So the bottom layer is going to be the turbine glass, structural glass. So put that down. There we go, got the framework, got the glass. Next you want to kind of map out where you're going to put the rotor. And the rotor goes in the middle. Now, you don't have to go all the way to the top because the second part of the turbine, we're going to need some more complex machinery on top. So it's usually a good idea to leave yourself like some big area at the top that's not turbine. So we're going to only go this high up. Now with the turbine rotor in place, we're going to go and grab the turbine blades from our backpack and right click on the rotor. And as you can see, this adds more and more and more blades. Now there is a small problem because look, the blades are getting bigger and bigger to the point where that's just going to be way too big for the, that's going to poke out. That ain't cool. That's not going to work straight up. So we kind of have to dig away at these until we get to a level where the rotor isn't sticking out too savagely. And in fact, it could even be that instead of having just like one turbine here, we could double stack these turbines and actually get 8 of these. Now that would be actually insane. 8 turbines? Oh, I can't even imagine that. But yeah, it looks like the sweet spot here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 turbine rotors. And I think we have to stop there because yeah, otherwise the blade's going to go crazy and cut through the machine. So now we're going to get the structural glass and fill in the sides of this turbine. Just like this, very simple procedure. Get it all in position. And we're going to bring the glass up as high as the turbine blades go, because you want these turbine blades to be visible. They're the visually appealing aesthetic part of a turbine after all. And there we go, that is the structural glass up to the level of the turbine rotor. Now what you want to do is plonk a rotational complex. One of these things, we only made 5 because I didn't think we were going to make more than 5 turbines, but if we make 8, well, I guess then we're going to make some more. So here we go, we put the rotational complex on top. Cool, okay, good to know. Now, this is where things get a bit complicated. We've got the casing, we've got the glass, we've got a rotor in the middle with blades, and the rotational complex, which is what turns the thing. But if you go into your backpack and if you hold W on the turbine casing, oh yeah, look at this. So this gives you an idea of what a finished turbine might look like. And it goes through the motions of setting it up as well. So this is a really cool animation. Do suggest checking this out because it really will help you with turbines. Now this is a very diddy turbine, but here we go. So you surround the rotational complex with pressure dispersers on that entire layer. Then you start putting vents on the outside of those. On top of the rotational complex goes electromagnetic coils. Then around those, saturating condensers. Okay, well that makes sense. So let's see if we've got those things. I did prepare them. So we've got the vents. There we go. Get rid of that lantern and the rotor and blades. So we've got the turbine vents. We've got the saturating condensers. And we have pressure dispersers. Right, I have loads of those. There we go. Yeah, 181 in here. That should be fine, especially for our first rotor. So let's go and do it. So the pressure dispersers surround the rotational complex, layer 1. And basically if you build a wider turbine, like 7x7, 9x9, etc., you still fill in this entire layer with these pressure dispersers, so these go even further out. It makes things a lot less complicated. And then on the outside of those, turbine vents. These are how the turbine vents out its steam, and you can actually put pipes on these to pull out water. Some people like to do sealed systems where all the water remains in the system. It goes from the nuclear reactor to get hot, comes up to the turbine to get cold, and then loops back down to get heated up again in the nuclear reactor. That's a good idea for like safety reasons because there's a sealed amount of water so you can never really run out. Anyway, right, so on top of the rotational complex, we need those electromagnetic coils. Very important step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then on the outside of those, in these little corners, saturating condensers. And again, if you had like a wider turbine that was like 9 by 9, you would still, I think, fill up this layer with saturating condensers. I think at least. And then turbine vents around those. Now, this is, for all intents and purposes, a finished turbine. And if I put this block down, we might see red sparkles. But we don't, okay? And I believe that's because we need another layer on top. So this is where we're going to refer back to that ponder. And yeah, as you can see above the turbine vents, we need another layer of the casing to kind of seal the entire thing shut. So let's do that. One more layer of casing. Where? Oh my god, I need more casing. Well, no worries, let's just make some more casing. Oh my god, traveling traders. The bane of my life. The bane of my existence. So yeah, casing now around the edge above these vents. Oh wait, that's the next turbine. So that should work. Now I hope this still works with these turbines touching. Fingers crossed it should. So if I place this down. No red sparkles. We'll try putting structural glass now on top like this. No, okay, it hasn't finished. So the problem we might have is that we have a lot of blocks next to this. So let's try disconnecting these blocks, see if this changes things. Because turbines might not like being next to each other. They might be a bit shy, which I can get behind. I'm fine with that. Shy turbines. Yes! So, okay, revolutionary discovery. It turns out that turbines do not like being next to each other. So you cannot place these jam-packed next to each other. It will check to see if there's a block next to it. And if there is, it'll say, no, there's a casing there. I don't want to be this small. I want to be bigger. So we've built a basic turbine rotor. We can now put a valve in this, put steam in, and it will work. And I would show you that, but there's no way we can do this now. Basically, we can fit probably 3 of these turbines in now before we run out of space, and it'll look really janky. They'll all be kind of small, and they can't be any bigger because it won't support a taller rotor. So what we're going to do is we're going to supersize this turbine. We're going to expand this to be much, much bigger. And instead of 4 turbines on this level, we're going to go down to 2. But they're going to be 2 real big ones. Okay, I'm pretty excited for this. So I'm going to come back to you once I've redesigned all of the shell. So I've counted out the front here, and basically this room can handle 9 by 9. But just like the nuclear reactor, we're going to poke out the back of the building. I think that'll look fine. So let's get to it. We want to build a 9 by 9 by, I think it was 18 or 17 framework for 2 massive turbines. Okay, so gaze upon the might of what is going to become... Oh wait, we forgot to get rid of this blue glass. But this is going to be a massive turbine. Oh my god, I'm very excited to see what kind of power this thing produces. It's 9 by 9 by, I think, 17. Yeah, that was the math. So let's start putting the rotor again in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be the middle. Grab the rotor, plonk it down here. Yeah! And let's go real high with this. So we've got much more room for much bigger blades here. That might be... Oh, no, wait, that's way too high. We've got to bring this down a bit. So, yeah, just chisel away at this. And let's see how many blades we can fit onto this bad boy. Oh, yeah, I can get so many blades on this bad boy. Okay, yeah, start spamming. Oh, look at the size of that rotor. It's so big. She said. And I reckon, you know what, that's about as big as we can make this rotor. But it's okay, because you kind of want a lot of machinery and stuff on top of this anyway. Can we get away with one more, maybe? Yeah, a couple more, I reckon. 1, 2. Yeah, you know what, I reckon that's about the perfect size. So now let's put down the rest of these machines. So we put the rotational complex on top of this, like that. And remembering how the rest of it went, we need a whole bunch of pressure dispersers. And again, this fills the entire layer around the rotational complex. So we go all the way to the edge with these, like this. Very simple. There we go, a full layer of pressure dispersers. Now, if I remember correctly, the electromagnetic coil goes on top, and this is always a maximum of 5 coils, no matter how big the turbine is. Then around this, we want to put some saturating condensers. And again, these also, I believe, fill the entire layer. Yes, and with the last piece of glass back in position, yeah, this is a multi-block structure again. All right, whoa, well, that's the thing completely done. That is our turbine ready to rock. All we need to do now is put a way to get steam inside this bad boy. And that actually could be quite tricky because there's my office floor between here and the nuclear reactor. So what we're going to do is we're going to chisel out like a nice little neat reactor port. I think what we can do is just have like a little bit of like a glass tube here and replace this with a valve. So we've got these in my backpack, I'm fairly sure, made a few of these. Turbine valves. Let's just get some of this junk out of my backpack because, oh my god, things are getting crazy in here. So a turbine valve, and again, yeah, it's back up and running. And now we can get steam from the floor below up through this way. Yeah. Oof, now the pipes are over there. We can rejig the reactor as well to move these fusion reactor ports to somewhere that makes a bit more sense. Bring these pipes down here like this. Now I believe these pipes will automatically be set to input coolant. So man, yeah, we're running out of pressurized tubes, but oh my god, there we go. That's it. The steam has gone in and oh my god, look at that rotor blade spin. So, okay. So we're getting way too much steam in here, and look at that power generation. Ooh, incredible. Now, is there a way to turn off this turbine before we just get full of power over here? Man, this is Giga FE. This is an insane amount of power generation, and this is just one turbine. So we'll go down here, and we're just going to cut off the steam for now. And quite simply, by just turning off the pipes. There we go. And you can see, oh, look at that turbine slow down. Beautiful to see. Oh, what a mess. Don't want to get caught in there like a massive blender. Can you imagine making like a big smoothie in one of these things? Oh man, you could feed the entire nation of Africa with a smoothie made inside this turbine. So the proof of concept absolutely works. All we need to do now is repeat what we've done over here, just over here to the right. Okay, my dude, so the moment of truth. Both of these reactors are fully configured now with ports. I just have to put the final cables in, these last pressurized tubes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, baby, yes! Let's go and watch them. Oh, look at those spin. This is crazy. Insane amounts of power, and they've run out of steam. Wow. Well, the nuclear reactor is off, so that does make sense. But yeah, these burn crazy amounts of power. Woo! 7 giga FE in there. Wow, and 7 giga FE in here as well. So what we need now is a way to get power out of these turbines, and I think this comes in the form of turbine valves. The same way you get steam in is, I think, the way you get power out. We will have to modify over here the window a bit. Honestly, this building has seen more modifications than, I don't know, something that receives a lot of modifications. But as you can see here, the power cable that goes down into the battery is in a pretty good position, so we can just get rid of this glass as well. And let's bring over some power cable. Wait, where is the power cable? There we go. So up comes the cable. And we'll just bring it over to these turbines. Here looks good to me. Smash. Turbine valve. Power goes up. Boom. Yeah, power is being sucked out of this bad boy. Wow, and it's oh, this is actually, yeah, going out really, really, really slowly. That's interesting. Maybe we have to do something to increase the rate at which we can get power out of here, but let's do this again over here with a valve on this turbine as well. Oh, amazing. So this is all going down now to the battery downstairs. Let's go and take a look and see what this thing can do. We'll turn on the reactor as well, because, you know, why not? We want some steam, right? We're going through fuel because we've got a bit of a bottleneck with our fissile fuel setup at the moment. We have to go and fix and repair that. But yeah, the nuclear reactor is producing heated coolant. We're going to turn this up because, you know what, why not? Burn rate 15. Let's go burn rate 30. No, wait, I think 30 was the max that we could support, right? No, the coolant goes down at 30. So we're going to change that to 26. Yeah, the coolant's going slowly up at 20, whatever that was. So good, we're getting heated coolant that we're not seeing because it's being piped out. We are going through fissile fuel very quickly, so we'll have to work out how to get that speed going up. But let's go up to the turbines now. And, oh yeah, these things are spinning. Now, one of them's spinning, the other one isn't. What's going on there? I think it's a steam problem. This one has enough steam, this one doesn't. It's not getting any steam. It's actually losing steam. Weird. But this is good. This whole setup will scale to how much steam we can actually produce. And I think this is actually ideal. What you don't want is too much steam in the industrial turbine. I think that actually slows things down. What this looks like is actually the perfect situation. This thing is spinning like a mother trucker. This is going crazy. And it's generating lots and lots and lots of giga FE. Let's go and see what our battery is doing downstairs. Now, luckily enough, take a look in here. In Mekanism, I've already put the recipes for advanced, elite, all the way up to ultimate induction cells. But that's not enough. We also want to go at Mekanism, induction, because it's okay having capacity. What we need is throughput as well. We need to make it so the battery can get power in quick enough and out quick enough. Like a highway, we need more lanes. If a battery is a car park, we need a road connecting that has more lanes, so we can get more cars in or out. So induction provider and induction cell. We want to make an induction provider, so we're going to go through the motions of all of these to get some recipes done. Now there might be a bottleneck somewhere, this might take forever, but we'll give it a go. Induction rate provider. Now I already made an ultimate induction cell, that's going to be really handy, but we want the induction provider as well. Start crafting one of these. It's missing 600 gold. So in the short term, we can kind of fix that by just using, this furnace over here. Okay, so one more time now, we've got gold in the machine. Induction provider is what we're looking for. One of these, got everything we need. Let's see how long this is going to take to craft. So over here to the crafting monitor. Here we go. Whew. Now, we're 2% through. Let's take 3% through. It's got to make 700 infused alloy. That's not going to be quick. It's also got to make steel ingots, but the machine doesn't accept the item. I think that's because it's busy with the infused alloy, so we'll wait on that. Wow, yeah. Oh man, this is going to take a long time. So I guess just go make a cup of coffee while it makes an ultimate induction provider. But I do honestly think without auto crafting, this kind of really does show you, in very real terms, how many items it takes to make all of these things. Like 220 energy tablets to manually craft this would take forever. So while we're doing this, it's worth going downstairs now to look at where our bottlenecks are, because something's gone wrong with fissile fuel production. And plot twist, something always goes wrong with fissile fuel production. So what's the problem here? It's usually the sulfuric acid. Why is the sulfuric acid broken? Water vapor? Yeah, so we're getting water vapor but not sulfuric acid. Where the sulfuric acid in here. Where's the bottleneck? What are we missing here? Oxygen and nothing. So this could be a bit of a bottleneck. We've got oxygen in here. This thing is supposed to make... Right, so the big bottleneck we have at the moment is we're not getting enough sulfur dust in here because the ultimate injection factory is too slow. it's not getting enough hydrogen chloride. Really? And we're not getting enough hydrogen chloride because we're not getting enough of whatever this thing is that goes in here with the hydrogen. Chlorine, is it? Yeah, this chlorine tank is empty, so yeah, our problem is over here at the thermal evaporation. Now you can come over here, and this has changed a little bit. I've modified this, and the big reason it's changed is because I made a bit of a mistake before. You only really need one resistive heater. You don't need to spam these out because you can go into these and manually change how much power each one uses. So we've got them now right next to the thermal evaporation plants, and what we can do is increase the FE per tick. Because we're getting nuke power now, which is crazy power, we're going to go from 900 FE per tick to 2000. Boom, yeah, and as you can see, the temperature is spiking and production is going to rise massively. Likewise, we'll do the same thing over here. This is set to 900, we're going to go to 2K. Boom, oh yeah, look at the temp go up, crazy. And production is skyrocketing, whoa, yeah. Loads of brine being created. So is this thing separating things quick enough? It might be. What kind of upgrades do we have in here? So energy 8, speed 8. This is as quick as it can be. But it's also going through the brine as quickly as possible as well. So it is the brine that's the problem at the moment. And more brine means more chlorine, right? Sure. So we could even go, let's go up to 5000K. I reckon we could probably handle that. Whoa. And again, over here, well, not 5000K, just 5000. Whew, yeah, the temperature spiked. Production will also spike. Whoa, yeah, look at that. Oh my god. I hope this thing can't explode, because it might do. But yeah, brine is coming through much quicker now. Anyway, this has been interesting. Going back through your systems and working out where the bottleneck is, it can be really laborious, but it's really cool. The one thing I love about Skyblock is, if you kind of know what you're doing, there is always something to do. You can always go back, always tweak and tinker with things, improve your production in certain areas. Let's go and check on our craft. Should be finished by now. Crafting monitor. Oh my god, no it's not. So it's been going for 6 minutes. Oh, but it's very close. 97%. So let's just watch the final stages go through. It's just trying to make now 100 infused alloy. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, and boom, 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 boom. We've done it. We've got the induction provider. So induct provider. Whoo, we've got the cell and the provider. These two are going to really increase our battery capacity. So down we go over here. Man, this has been Mekanism heavy, and Mekanism is kind of like a mixed bag. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's very technical. There's a lot to do, but it is crazy fun. So these are induction providers. We're going to add to this with the ultimate one. And this is a crazy jump from basic. So put this, I guess, at the front, because we can put like elite or advanced in here if we make those. But boom, ultimate there. And over here, we're going to have this side be the induction cells. So boom, over there in the corner. We'll fill up the glass again. Put this back into position. 1, 2, I made. There we go. And let's take a look at the battery now. Oh, yeah, look at this. The energy is, wow, climbing like crazy. 8, 9, 10 giga FE. Giga FE. Put that into perspective, right? So this is inputting at 52 mega FE per tick. Our thermo generator is making 4,000 per tick. Not even mega, not even giga, just 4,000 per tick. Whereas the turbines, fully operational, this is producing 1.5 mega FE per tick. Mega FE per tick. That's million. 4,000 per tick versus 1 million per tick. So clearly, the turbine is the winner as far as power generation goes. Now, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. When you go into Mekanism, these things can create insane amounts of power, but consequently, Mekanism is kind of balanced around using that amount of power. So Mekanism machines in general are really, really, really power hungry. So it is what it is. And also we have a bit of a problem as well, because our nuclear reactor isn't quite making enough steam. Not really. We need to find a way to get even more fissile fuel being produced because it's just going a bit slow at the moment. And again, I think the bottleneck really is chlorine production. So yeah, there's always something to do. Exciting. Well, my dudes, thank you for watching this episode of All the Mods 9 to the Sky. This episode we built not one, but two massive turbines. Now, only one is operational at the moment, but as we increase production and things, this second turbine is going to kick into action as well. Very cool. Now, I haven't forgotten that we do need to add a safety mechanism to our nuclear reactor. That's going to be pretty important because we do not want a meltdown, and we're dangerously approaching a time when that might happen. As always, keep your tips coming in because I love reading them in the comment section. Anything you want to say, pop it in there and I will heart and like your comment. But until next time, my dudes, thank you for watching and take care.